Shalom Akim. First and foremost, all praise, all glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our leadership, the apostles, elders, and bishops, great millstone. Peace, mercy, and grace to the household of faith, the elect, beginning with the 144,000 first fruits. Shalom to the rest of the elect as well. All right, the large multitude, men, women, and children that's going to be delivered as well. All right, quick lesson. I just want to discuss how pretty much everything is an incantation. All right, it's an enchantment. Pretty much nothing is real. Everything is staged. Everything is set up. And the scriptures say that this would happen and that these people would do this, but they wouldn't prevail in the end. So what I want to point out is in this article, all right, because everyone's talking about this, all right, the Hamas and Israel conflict, which, how did that start, right? Israeli soldiers stand by an engine from a paraglider that Palestinian militants used a few days earlier in an attack. So it all started from, these Palestinians, this Palestinian terrorist group flying on paragliders and infiltrating Israel, right, and committing an attack, right? But this was shown here on the cover of this magazine, The Economist. Okay, it's dated December 22nd, 2012 to January 4th, 2013. So this article is 10 years old. And on the cover of this, if you look here at the top, you have this guy here in the green, and it looks like he has on a bandana that says Hamas. I might be reaching there, but it looks like he has on a bandana that says, or a head band that says Hamas. And what is he doing? He's on a paraglider and he's shooting at one of these little hats right here, right? So they showed you here that this would come to pass, that they would bring this to pass, all right? A paraglider, okay, and a gutter rat, and what does he look like? I can't really tell, but they showed you that they would be going at it back and forward. So, this is what I want to discuss in this video, man. When you look up this word incantation, it says an incantation, a spell, a charm, or an enchantment, or a bewitchery is a magical formula intended to trigger a magical effect on a person or objects. The formula can be spoken, sung, or chanted. An incantation can also be performed during ceremonial rituals or prayers. In the world of magic, wizards, witches, and fairies allegedly perform incantations. Okay? And this is what all of this stuff is incantations, man. The Latin incantare, which means to consecrate with spells, to charm, to bewitch, to ensorcel, forms the basis of the word enchant, all right, which with deep linguistic roots going back to Proto-Indo-European can prefix. So it can be said that an enchanter or enchantress cast magic spells or utter incantations. And that's what this shit is, man. All right, this is what they do. This is an example of them uttering an incantation. All of these symbolisms around us is them, all right, using bewitchery. All right, and the scripture said that they would do this. Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And in the ancient Babylonian Empire, you had the Chaldeans, which were known as the wise men, all right, the magicians of that empire, which today you have modern day Babylon. The virgin daughter of Babylon represents the U.S., of course, all right, which is connected with Israel and shit. It's all the same people, but they have their warlocks, their magicians, all right, their spellcasters, all right, they're modern day Chaldeans too. Okay, matter of fact, let's look up Chaldean. You look at the third definition, it says those persons considered the wisest in the land. Also an astrologer, right? It says also an astrologer. All right, so these are the wise men of the land, the astrologers, the stargazers, the prognosticators. Because you always had that, even back in ancient Egypt, the Pharaoh had his wise men, his council. Nebuchadnezzar had his wise men, his council. But every time these captivities we were in, Israelites always had the real wise counsel, and the heathen would see that, because really their wise counsel isn't real wisdom. Okay, let's get Sirach 19. We already here. I was reading that Sirach 2 earlier. Help me get through a situation. This is Sirach 19 and verse 22. All right, we'll start at 20. It says, "The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency." So these other nations, they don't have real wisdom. Their counsels are not real sound counsels, because they don't have the fear of the Lord. So verse 21, if a servant say, we'll jump down to verse 22, "The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsels of sinners prudence." So, and that's what you have amongst these people, man. All right, these ain't nothing but a council of sinners coming together and devising plans and, thinking they got something. And then here it is, 10 years later, they make the attack happen, and they have people out here protesting. They have all these people putting their time, their energy, putting their soul into this conflict. And here it is, these people planned this shit over a decade ago. And going back to Isaiah 47, because the scripture said that they would do this, but it wouldn't work. Let's go down to verse 4. "As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel," because the children of Israel have been redeemed through the blood of Yahushua. And that's why Yahushua is coming back to actually physically redeem his elect. He coming back to literally save the elect, which is a part of us being bought with a price, as the scriptures say. All right. 1 Corinthians 6 and 20, "For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are the Most High's." All right. 1 Corinthians 7:23, "Ye are bought with a price. Be not ye the servants of men." And that's what these people are trying to do. They want you to be servants of men. They want you to serve and worship their idols. But the elect have been bought and paid for by the blood of the Lamb, which is how we're going to overcome this. So going back to Isaiah 47 and 4, "As for our Redeemer, the Lord, which is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua of hosts, is his name, the Holy One of Israel." Verse 5, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms." All right. In the NLT, it says, "Never again will you be known as the Queen of Kingdoms," which is what? Babylon the Great. All right. We are sitting, and most people that watch my videos, at least, we are sitting right here in the belly of the beast, man. We right here in the Queen of Kingdoms. All right. Everybody in the world wanted to come here, wanted to this was that golden city. Verse 6. Now, actually, I want to jump down to verse 8. "Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures." All right. This place is full of people that are given unto their lust. All right. Chasing and slaves and to their own lust and their desires. Right. It says that dwellest carelessly. All right. Because people walking around without a care in the world. A lot of these people are marching and protesting for these things, and they really don't know or what they doing. They just doing it for the sake of doing it, for the sake of clout, for the sake of wanting to feel important. They really doing it for their own selfish deeds. And some of them are just paid off, But the people here are dwelling carelessly, thinking that calamity will never befall this place. It says that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And most Americans can't tell you nothing about anything else in the world. They don't know what's going on across the seas. They don't know, I was watching the video the other day, and they was asking Americans to name 3 countries besides the United States. And people was naming continents. Europe, a lot of people they don't know. A guy was saying, name, name a country that borders the United States. People stuck on stupid. The answer to that is Canada and Mexico. All right, Canada is at the top, Mexico is at the south. All right, it says, continuing on, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Americans don't think that they will lose. They don't think that this place is ever going to fall. Right? They don't think that judgment is ever going to come. Verse 9, but these things shall come to thee in a moment and one day. All right, because it tells you in Revelation 18, I want to say 18, that in 1 hour shall the judgment take place. It's going to be quick. All right, the Most High going to make a speedy riddance of Babylon the Great. This is Revelation 18 and 10. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right, so it's going to be quick. It's going to be short. It's going to be sweet. All right, it's going to be to the point. So this is verse 9. But these things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And this goes into the abundance, Salakia. This goes into the abundance of the enchantments. All right, these spells. All right, them telling you this is what we gonna do, and then them going about and doing it. All right, showing you right in your face. All right, and then fucking around and doing it in real time, and then everybody just kind of, not knowing. Look at here. This was that guy Gaddafi that they took down. Look at this. See climate change right there, and this is 2012. Climate change. You got, it's probably worth unpacking and going into it. Hacker Center. So they got devils on this on the computers, hacking. Because what they tell you now, password security. I just did the lesson talking about pass keys. That's gonna be the that's where they going with passwords, so that you ain't got to worry about your passwords being hacked. That way, now you can better protect yourself using your biometrics. So they showing you everything they want to do, which if I'm not mistaken, they call this the revelation of the method. Look that up real quick. The term revelation of the method was coined by the late James Shelby Downard to explain the alchemical processing of a society, but by its Luciferian controllers. Let's see what they're talking about. Look, Baphomet. First thing you see. All right, so continuing on, it says false flag operations, assassinations, and other hair-raising conspiracies like the interventionalists, endless wars, color revolutions, decapitations, as we've seen by ISIS, blah, 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 blah. It is often said that the controllers need to inform us of their intentions before acting them out through predictive programming. Boom, we'll leave it there. No, we're going to keep going. So like it says, such as the numerous scenes in so many movies where clocks displayed the numbers 9/11 in the films Escape from New York, which even had a scene where Air Force One, how you doing? See, which even had a scene where Air Force One crashed into a building adjacent to the WTC, blah, blah, blah. So you get it that these people always do this. They've been showing us what they're going to do before they do it, which goes into those, the great abundance of thine enchantments. So keep going, verse 10. For thou, we read the NLT, you felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said. But your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. And you said, I am the only one and there is no other. So disaster will overtake you and you won't be able to charm it away. Calamity will fall upon you and you won't be able to buy your way out. Right, because they own all the resources. They have all the money and the power, but But the Lord, thankfully, I had mentioned this at camp. Thankfully, we serve a Lord that can't be bought. The judge of the heavens and earth, this judge can't be bought out. These judges on this earth, they can be bought. They'll sell out. They'll have favoritism. They'll have connections. But the Most High, which is the highest of the high, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, their judgment can't be swayed. They're not a respecter of persons. So thankfully, the Most High is going to judge these people and not let them escape. It says, a catastrophe will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared. Verse 12, now use your magical charms. Use the spells you have worked at all these years. Maybe they will do you some good. Maybe they can make someone afraid of you. Yeah, so in the KJV, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Even so be, thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Right, and they've been laboring since the beginning of Babylon the Great, the beginning of, the Renaissance, even prior to that. But, especially with the Renaissance, they've been laboring, for hundreds of years. And if these enchantments that they had could work independently of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, then let them work. But they're not going to prevail, because it's written for the elect, to prevail in the ultimate end. The gates of hell shall not prevail. So, this shit ain't gonna work, man. This shit sloppy. But, to the unknowing, to the uninitiated, to the people outside of this world, they're gonna be taken by these things. But the elect, are seeing straight through this, and Lord willing, we enduring to the end. All right, which I believe we will. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I catch you on the next one. Shalom.